Even the greatest fall sometimes. Hell, Ali fell. Foreman fell. Look at Foreman. He didn't know what hit him, did he? Nobody expected that. They thought Foreman was gonna kill Ali. Ali had been out for 5 years, his prime years, and he came back and beat a whole bunch of bums, only to fight and get beat by Frazier. Yeah, he came back and beat Foreman to death. The rope of dope. And guess what? Foreman was the dope. Does that make Foreman a buster, a scrub, a B-level fighter? No. He's a great, a Hall of Famer. Sugar Ray Leonard got beat by Roberto Duran. A great fight. Both competitors showed heart. Warriors, just like the Ali Foreman fight. Sugar Ray Leonard came in there like it was nothing, another day in the office. La 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 la. Roberto Duran is representing for his country. He is in prime condition. An animal. Fiera. Ready for Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray is a Hall of Fame fighter. Does this defeat and this performance make Sugar Ray some shit? No, even though his shorts are bloody and he's lumped up and muddy. Roberto Duran still put on a hell of a performance. Digging, making him miss. Yes, digging to the body. These were great Hall of Fame fighters fighting each other, going toe to toe. You go back and watch these fights. These are just highlights. You have to watch the whole performance and how it went down. But like I said, do you think because Sugar Ray is missing and Roberto Duran is hitting that he's a bum? No, he came back and avenged his loss. Is that what Earl is going to do? Maybe, I don't know. But I already told you I feel like the man has CTE. I think he should have fought Thurman first. I told you in my last video, duck Crawford. Please. You had a car wreck, nigga. Then you came back and fought Danny Garcia. He's alright, but he's alright. He's not Crawford. These are great fighters. I didn't like Crawford because of the bullshit he was pulling, but he's a great fighter. So you got to take him serious. Prove me wrong. Bust my mouth. That's what Roberto Duran did to Sugar Ray. Proved everybody wrong. But he's not the only one. He's just one of the killers. One of the Hall of Famers. That beat another Hall of Famer. You see Sugar Ray, he can't believe it. He's lumped up and got a bully on his face. But what about my favorite fighter when I was younger? Iron Mike Tyson fighting Buster Douglas. Nobody in the world. He was hanging out that night before with Bobby Brown. Getting high and fucking a whole bunch of bitches. Was it Bobby Brown or was it, I don't know, but he was out that night before fucking about 12 or something bitches. And Buster Douglas' mama had just died. So he came in and put on a hell of a performance and beat the shit out of Mike Tyson. You seen Mike Tyson at the fight, he was everywhere. He flipped the coin. Now he's looking for the coin, he's looking for the mouthpiece like he was looking for the coin. The ref had to stop the fight. Whoever would have fought Buster Douglas? Everybody lost money that night. I don't even think Buster Douglas' team even bet on him. But look what happened. A savage, a killer, being dropped by a B-level fighter. Does that make Mike Tyson a scrub? No. Mike Tyson dropped motherfucking Buster Douglas and had a long count. Oh my God, I love Deontay Wilder. I worked with my boss man, say he used to work with him in Alabama He said he was a hell of a nigga, used to be hitting on the side of the trucks, on his brakes, training, fighting a cheater, a drug cheat, and a man that manipulates his gloves. He dropped him the first fight. Any other referee would have stopped the fight because his eyes rolled in the back of his head, but he didn't. He let him get up. That was a concussed state. But that's okay. The second fight, Deontay took it. He's giving people opportunity. He don't give a fuck. He's a killer. And he lost that fight with a crooked glove. And I don't know what kind of drugs. Anytime you take drugs, you're always a cheater to me. But hats off to Tyson Fury because he does have skill. The Gypsy King trained with Emmanuel in Detroit, Michigan. So I can't say he doesn't have skills. God bless the dead. Emmanuel Stewart. But he beat one of my favorite heavyweights. And I have to make excuses. Excuses are necessary. This man outweighed Deontay, and he's a drug cheat, and he manipulates his glove, and he has skills from a black coach that gave him the game. Mix that with some cheat, and you will get defeat. If you cheat him, you can beat him. Does that make Deontay less of a man and less of a Hall of Fame fighter? No. He weeble wobbled to the stools and sat down like Earl Spence had to. Look at his face. And I bet you he still wants to fight Tyson Fury. Bet you bottom dollar. But he got beat by the cheat and a freak that licked on the back of his neck. It was blood. These are the animals you like to see in the ring and beat our great champions. They hate us. Remember Ezra? Ezra? You don't know about Ezra? He killed a man in the ring, and after he did that, he changed his style. That's when they gave him a shot at Rocky Marciano. But then, by then, he had ALS, a disease that disturbs your muscles and makes you weak. Why wouldn't they give him a chance at Rocky Marciano? You can go on YouTube and never find the full fight. They never show the full fights of Rocky Marciano and Ezra Charles. You know why? Because in the second fight, Ezra Charles bust Rocky Marciano's pussy wide open. God bless the dead to both of them fighters. Both of them were great fighters. But he bust his whole nose open and split it like a pussy. You can reach inside and grab his nose bone the way he busted. Ezra Charles is pound for pound my number one over Floyd and everybody. This man has the best resume in boxing. He beat Charlie Burley twice and ran through the murderer's row. Ran through him. Everybody. And beat him more than once and avenge all of his losses except for Rocky Marciano. But like I said, he had ALS and he changed his style. Excuses are necessary. We have to have them in sports because they play a part. And Ezra was at the end of his career. He was an old man, and Rocky Marciano was a young bull. Italiano, raging bull. You know, the drug cheats back then didn't give a fuck what the boxers took. There wasn't no bottle drug testing back then. You know all the tricks of the trades in boxing, what boxers used to take back in the 20s, 30s, and the 40s, and the 50s, 60s. It really started tracking them down in the 80s and the 90s. And even then, it was loose. Floyd Mayweather made it where it had to be reckoned with. But these boxers were on drugs, madmen. They used to fight fucking 3 times a week, maybe 4 or 5. Killers. Ezra Charles moved up to heavyweight. He was a very little man at first. A stone cold killer. Hiawatha Jones was his coach. And many other black coaches that you never heard about. It's still Team Spence. I still fuck with Spence.
Dropped 3 times. What was your reaction to the bout, man? You lose some, you win some. Like I said, just like I told somebody earlier, whoever he fight next, I feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got to take somebody else. You know what I'm saying, to shake you back. So he's gonna shake back, and I feel bad for whoever he fight next.
Ace, what would be your message for Earl Spence Jr. if he were to watch this? I'm sure you're gonna be talking to him here pretty soon.
Don't beat yourself up. We still here. We still got you. Ain't nothing changing. We good. We Team Spence. Through and through. We got you. You hear me? Whoever.
As far as the performance by Bud Crawford tonight, I know that you were here largely for Spence, but just for the boxing's sake, what did you think about the way that
he can fight? He was throwing him. I can't say nothing bad about him. He got him. He got it. He won this battle.
Tap me out. I feel like Pacquiao when he fought Mayweather. You hit me, I can't hit you back. I hate to say never, but never ever will I let you shit on me. I'm just a clever young nigga from the street. What? I hate people who be judging pain. He can take it, he a gangster, he don't feel no pain. Shit, my life is like a nightmare. I try to give my life to God, but the devil, he don't fight fair. Pretty women, they don't fight fair. They like to wear them tight clothes. Don't get mad, cause I might stare. Just remember I'm a slight player. You know how freaky I can get. I want the pussy cause it's right there. I know I'm wrong and I might just go to hell for this, but that don't mean that I don't love you. Let me tell you this. Just the thought of not having you, grabbing you, turn that ass around, let my blade start stabbing you.
Poise. This is what I respect about Terrence Crawford. Even though he hit Earl and got a lick, he got right back on his man. And he has poise. This is why I have a newfound respect for Terrence Crawford's skill set. He has poise. Even when he gets rocked, he has poise enough to counter and zero in on his target. Now, with that being said, I still seen Terrence Crawford get popped and dropped, but he was off balance now that I think about that more. But for people to think that Earl Spence is less of a fighter, they are wrong. I truly, honestly give Terrence Crawford his credit. He is #1 pound for pound in everybody's book, even though I have Shakur over him, but all the greatest falls sometimes. Even Ali fell, but he got back up and he avenged his loss. Does that make Ali less of a Hall of Famer because Joe Frazier dropped him? No. So with that being said, it's still Team Spence. I make my jokes about him, but ha ha ha. Nigga, I lost a lot of money because I thought you was gonna go in there and do it, but I should have known. Excuses are necessary. Nigga, you just flew out of a car and you fought Danny Garcia, cool. And you fought Ugas, cool. But that's not Terrence Crawford. Killers, you must respect killers. You should have took a tune-up. This man had a tune-up before he fought you. His skill set is different. You have to adjust. And even though a lot of greats fail, you took the worst beating. Please, take some time off and get you a tune-up.
Spence Thurman.